welcome to Rhino Exploration. My name is Zach. Today I thought I'd review some of the camera gear that I use for all of my filming. I've had all this gear for about a year now, so I figured why not do a review on the gear that I use on my adventures. So this, everything you all see is through the lens of the camera, so I thought I'd review and show you guys basically what I use on the daily when I do my adventures. I don't have a bunch of professional gear. I actually have very minimalist when it comes to filming gear at the moment. But nevertheless, I thought I'd share with you guys what I have and what programs I use to edit all the filming, and just kind of the whole process that I go through for filming all of the adventures here at Rhino Exploration. Now, I know this is a little different than the garage. I know I promised that we'd be doing things in the garage. However, here in Colorado, we've been having some odd weather. Last week we hit negative temperatures for the first time in I don't know how many years. And this week we got even more snow. So right now the garage has the vehicles in it, and my dad's truck takes up a whole section of the garage, and the Jeep is kind of shoved in a little corner. So there's not a whole lot of space in there to film, and right now the driveway is ice, so I can't move any of the vehicles really onto the driveway without them not getting back in. So for now, we're going to hang out in our spare bedroom on my lovely lawn furniture. Lindsay and I have yet to get our household goods. They are coming here in the next 2 weeks. We are excited. We have been living a very, very minimalist life, which would be great if we were traveling. But on a daily, I do miss my couch. I will admit, I miss my couch where I can do all my editing of my filming. But nevertheless, let's get started. So, when we are out on the road, a lot of the times, the main camera, which I am talking to right now, is not on. We are normally either using our phone, which I have a Samsung Galaxy S22, which does amazing video. Some people criticize using phones. Phones have come such a long way. They work great, and I use it all the time because it is very quick. I can easily get it on, get the filming going. I can talk to you guys, and with my hand being the gimbal, I can show you guys. I can get it up and close in the spots that I can't get that camera into. So it works great, and I've had no issues with it, and I love it. And I actually do some of the voiceovers that you hear in the videos. I actually do it through a recording app on the phone, because sometimes my computer doesn't like to play nice, which we'll get to the computer here in a second. But otherwise, when we're driving in the Jeep and we're kind of on the road, you're either seeing stuff off of the phone or you're seeing things off of the GoPro. Now, this is nothing fancy. This is a GoPro Hero 7, and it is the white one. This thing, and I will apologize if I'm looking down, I have my notes so I can provide the most accurate detail that I can for you guys. This is my GoPro 7 in white. It is nothing fancy. I got this many, many years ago. This thing is probably 6 years old, and I've been using it on all sorts of adventures. You guys have seen some of the footage that comes from it, especially when we were in Hawaii and the rain would kick in. A lot of the times I put the main camera gear away and we just shot through the GoPro, because the GoPro, one, is waterproof, and two, I also have another waterproof case for the GoPro, which kind of helps protect it a little more versus getting everything else wet and kind of crossing my fingers and hoping it dries out and works great. So it's nothing fancy. It shoots in 1040p. It won't do 4K video, but it has the automatic stabilizer in it, so everything looks really smooth no matter how shaky I am with the camera, and it just does a really good job. And sometimes it freezes, don't get me wrong. Sometimes this thing is the world's biggest pain in the rear, especially when you're filming and, like I said, at 6 years old, the screen just freezes. So eventually I'd like to get a new GoPro, but for now, it does the job very nicely, and it works great. Getting those sort of trick shots where I'm hanging out of the Jeep and I'm getting the tire as we're driving, or sticking it up high and you getting to see the kind of the 360, 180 of what's going on above the Jeep. Those aren't typically possible without the GoPro, because when I'm doing those shots, I'm physically hanging out of the Jeep doing those shots. I don't have a super long gimbal. Actually, the gimbal for the GoPro is right here. It's just the little standard prong that you get to hold on to it, and it's got the little hard case, and then I have the waterproof case right here. This is what I was using during some of our ocean voyages on the paddleboard in Hawaii to help keep it, keep it waterproof, and then I can also stick it in the water and you guys can actually see what's happening. Let me swap cameras and I can tell you all about my main camera, which I'm talking to you guys through right now. So give me 2 seconds. All right. Thanks for hanging on there. Now I'm talking to you from the phone. That's right. We are going to be playing camera, what is it all called? Ring Around the Rosie, whatever it was. We're playing, camera roulette. We're just kind of passing the cameras around here. So this right here, in all its glory, and I can remove this real quick, is my main camera. It is a Lumix. I want to make sure I read everything off correctly. It is a Lumix G85MK mirrorless camera with a 12 to 60 millimeter lens on it right now. And it works amazing. So when we started looking for a camera for everything, for filming our adventures, because before when I first started, it was just a phone. And I wanted more than that. And so when we started looking for a camera, we did lots of research. Though we liked several of the other cameras, certain things about this camera stood out more than others. And the fact that this thing can shoot in 4K all the way through, and it doesn't drain the battery. It has all the other abilities, 1080p. I do shoot a lot of the time in that, just because trying to upload a video into YouTube for you guys in 4K takes a long time. Like, just the upload process itself, there are times where it's a 6-hour upload if I shoot it all in 4K. It looks really, really pretty, but it takes a lot longer and it makes the computer work harder to get that downloaded. But the one thing we really loved about this is the fact that its stability is above all the others. So one of the main reasons why we got this camera is because it has an electronic stability in it, kind of like the GoPro, where if I shake it, the picture stays really, really focused and really center. Anytime if there's shaking within it, it's because my hand shakes. So a lot of times though, it is all that stillness in the video comes from the camera itself, because it's got that electronic stability, and it works both in the video mode and taking a picture. So if I wanted to take a picture of something that I'm moving in the Jeep, it makes it look as if it was still. You don't kind of get some of the blur that comes from it. It kind of cleans it up because that stability plays into effect. And it was one of the big things that, led us to the camera. And the fact that it's, completely waterproof, and it is actually a really user-friendly camera. Don't get me wrong, it took me a little bit to learn all the different settings within the camera. You have all sorts of different settings that can appear, that you can go through, and just setting it up a little bit, it took a bit of time. Mainly it was just finding out where everything was kind of located within the menu setting. And once you get that, and you can set up kind of hotkeys on it, it made it really quick to be able to just easily, hit a button, changes the way that the camera is going to work, and I can film for you guys. And it just kind of makes for quick access. And the video quality is just very clear. We are very happy with this. We have no regrets of not going with other cameras. We really love this camera. Now in the future, we do want to get another camera. And we are debating about what kind of camera that'll be, but that'll be sometime probably later this year. We'll get another camera. And we also want to get another lens. You know, shooting with a 12 to 60 millimeter lens, it's great, but sometimes you can't get as clear on some of those really close shots as you can with, you know, a micro lens, a micro telephonic lens. So there are things in the future that are going to be coming, but for now, this does really good. We are really, really happy with it. We've had no issues, nothing, so it's really great. So on to my computer. So the computer I use is an HP computer. It's an HP MV. It's one of their kind of more creative computers. You have more freedom to do more creation with it. It does come with a little, you know, stylus pen, and the whole screen can flip all the way around, so you can use it kind of like a tablet or a drawing board, and then it can go back into computer mode. And you can see on here I kind of have all my notes that I've been telling you guys. And on my back I got all my stickers that I collected over the past couple of years. The best, of course, the Rhino Exploration sticker. The computer works really well because of its ability to have more freedom, you know, being able to design and create things. Because I custom ordered this laptop when my old laptop died. I had a few other things put into it, so it had a bigger memory. It had the, you know, more abilities to do more designing without killing the battery or hogging up a lot of space. And the programs are great. One program that I use for all my filming is the program I use for editing all of the filming that I did on the adventure is Wondershare's Filmora, you know, video editing program. And as you can see here, I've got the Breckenridge video from a couple of weeks ago pulled up on here. And this program, the reason why I like it so much is it is extremely user-friendly. Literally, I can go right through here. I click this. I can import the media that I want from my computer. You know, I can come in here. I can click on something. I can import it instantly in here, and it appears. And all the media just kind of sits here. And then I can drag and drop it into a place where I'd like it to be. And as you can see, you just drag and drop. And then I can sit there and I can click on things. I can shrink it down, I can make it bigger, I can, if I wanted to edit that, you know, if I'm watching something and I feel that it needs to be edited out, I can edit it out. It's very simple. I just click it and I can either take this little tool and I can cut it right there. And then if I wanted to, I could delete this out. Or I could easily just take it and just shrink it down, and it makes that part of it disappear and shortens it or lengthens it. And then I have the ability to insert audio that comes with the program. I have, you know, there's some transition effects, other little effects that you can add. You can add titles to your film. And it's a really great, to me, easy to use program that provides a lot of different things for a reasonable price. Now, with Filmora, one-time payment. So you can do annual plans, you can pay, you know, a yearly plan. It all just depends on what you want. Or what I loved about Filmora is that I could buy the program up front for just one payment, one low flat rate. I got to have the program. And though if you want to upgrade to the next big software version, like just, you know, as you can kind of see here, it's got Filmora 12. That is the new upgrade for this program. To get that, I would have to pay a smaller, you know, a small fee to have that product upgraded to that, because all I did was I bought Filmora 11 and all the upgrades that came with it up to 12. And it works great. And I've had no complaints about Filmora. It actually, you know, like I said, it makes it super, super easy. So one of the other things I like using is Canva. Canva is how I make all my thumbnails for my videos. So as you can see right here, I have the last video I did the garage. I have my new logo that I was doing there and the logo from our Breckenridge adventure. And Canva is free to use. You can upgrade to the Pro, but I have found that at the moment I have no need to upgrade because of all its abilities. I have all these different kinds of elements I can use. I can upload as much as I want. They have templates throughout here that you can borrow and edit to what you would like. You have photos, you can edit the background, you can add text. It is just a really great program that allows you a lot of creative freedom to make things. Now, one thing with Canva, and it is kind of the one complaint I have about Canva, is that if you put an image in there and you make your thumbnail or your background, when you try to upload it to YouTube, YouTube has a very small limit. It's like 2,000 megabytes that the thumbnail can be. And sometimes a picture is too high of quality, or if it's too big of a picture that you shrunk down to fit in that thumbnail, it hogs up a lot of space. So sometimes you have to get a little more creative with how or what picture you use, because that fills up really quickly. So that's about my only complaint, is that though you use the YouTube thumbnail template, it doesn't shrink it all down so that it stays within that size frame that YouTube allows for. Instead, you go through the whole design and then you try and put it in there, and all of a sudden it's telling you it's too big to fit in there for the upload for YouTube. And so it's gotten a little frustrating at times, but overall, using Canva has been great. It's been a great free tool, and I get a lot of creativity to go along with it. So once I get all of that done, it all comes here to YouTube. So here in YouTube, I can sit here and I can upload a video. So here in YouTube, I upload my video. Just click on the upload button, or see, I'm on my page, so it's not going to, but if I was on my home page, I can sit here and it'll bring it up. It can be, press create, I can create something. It says upload a video, I upload it, and it just starts its process of uploading up here into YouTube. I can select the video. Once it's selected, it'll start uploading into here. And then I set the time and date that I want it released, and then it goes to you guys, so you guys can, come with me on my adventures. And it's kind of my process of what we use to get our adventures out to you guys. So next, in this little bag is the gimbal. Now, it's not the camera's gimbal, it is my phone's gimbal. And when we came to wanting to get a gimbal, we did our research and we looked into it, and originally I wanted one for the camera, the big camera itself, for the camera for the Lumnex. But I quickly found that I didn't always have the space, or I didn't want to take the camera on the adventure necessarily because of where we were going. It was going to be a very, kind of dense part of the jungle, and I didn't know if it would rain a lot. So the phone was a lot easier. So this gimbal undoes itself, and the phone will fit right in it. So let me switch off the phone and I'll show you guys. So, the gimbal for the phone. So, the gimbal right here works great. And my phone. Now, this gimbal is by a company that does come from, I do believe it is Japan. And it's Zeinen. I'm probably saying that wrong, I do apologize. But it had one of the better reviews for gimbals, and for what I wanted to use it for, I was looking for one that, was pretty, it wasn't, 100% flawless, but it had a good review for doing what I needed it to do and being accurate. And it's real simple. I turn it on, it starts blinking. I don't know if you can see it. And then the gimbal kind of comes to life. Now, this gimbal is probably the biggest pain in the butt for camera gear I have. When it works properly, and sometimes yes, it is user error. I will, fess up and say sometimes, yes, I mess up using the gimbal. I am prone to it. I'm not always perfect, but this thing has some user error. And if I can get it to work, like right now, user error. There we go. So the gimbal's now live. And I can sit here and record stuff, and it'll make it look really smooth. If I hold down a button, it does fast action, so as I turn, it turns, and then it wigs out. My biggest complaint is this thing just magically all of a sudden goes into a mode that just acts like it cannot move, and everything's free, and the camera's balanced. And it is the most irritating thing about this whole gimbal. The gimbal works great when it wants to work properly and do as I need it to. It works tremendously well. But when it wants to basically give up, it gives up, and it becomes very frustrating because no matter what you do, it just doesn't work. And maybe it's just I got a bad product, maybe it's just because I'm using it wrong. It is all possible, but it is the one piece of camera gear that I dislike using the most. Because when I start using it and it works really well, it's exciting because it does some really good quality pictures. When we went to Lulumahu Falls, that's what I used, was the gimbal. And it worked really well up to right before the end of the fall, until we got to the falls. Then it decided it didn't want to work. It was irritating. Beyond all beggars' belief, it was irritating. But thusly we soldier on, and that's what I have for now. Eventually I do want to try other gimbals, but all these things I purchased with my own money. So right now I'm still going to use it and focus on getting certain other things. So you're probably wondering, what holds up the camera when I'm talking to you guys like this? Well, yes, there is a camera stand that it is holding it on, the tripod. Now we do have two tripods. I can't show you one of them. It was loaned to us by Lindsay's dad, which I thank very much, because it is a super strong tripod that is very durable outside. And I can set it up, and the legs all adjust to different lengths, and it works great. It is in a shipping container somewhere in California until they get it here to us. So for now, I make do with our very easily collapsible mobile tripod. As you guys can see, I'm filming you all off of the phone. And that's the tripod. That's what the camera looks like sitting on the tripod. It collapses down really small and fits into this bag right here. And it can hook onto the side of, this is our camera bag. It's a lovely Amazon. It fits in right here. We strap it in and it becomes super mobile, and we can easily pop it out, set it up. I had the phone on there when I was talking to you. It's got this little attachment right here for the phone. The phone just kind of clamps in like the bulletproof mount that I have in the Jeep. It clips in and holds it, and we can angle it in different directions, and it just allows us to have the ability to freely talk to you guys without having to have somebody necessarily behind the camera, or having the camera shake. It just keeps it still pointed in one spot. It works amazing. We absolutely love it. So one thing we did get for the camera so far, and I got it back in September, so I haven't had this quite for a year yet, but it has been really good, and doing a couple month review isn't too bad, and it is this. So this is the microphone for the camera, the external microphone that we bought for the camera that helps bring what we're saying to you guys outside into better quality. So it kind of muffles all the background noise or the wind noise. And this little sock that goes on it here really helps muffle it all. And here's the microphone, and it just sits on top of the camera just like this, and I can screw it down, keep it held in tight, and then it's got this, you know, auxiliary plug, and on the camera here we can sit here and plug it into the camera, and it's good to go. It's just plug and play, and now the camera recognizes it as the microphone, and as I'm talking, everything goes through here and makes it so much clearer in the video. Because before, when I was just talking to the camera, you know, at the beginning of the year and the first half of the year, it was just all through here, or I was doing it through my phone. So my phone would be on in the background capturing my voice so that I could put it with the video to make it as clear as possible, because camera microphones that are built in are not very great. You know, they try hard, and you capture your voice and certain noise, but they are nothing like a, you know, external microphone that its whole purpose is just to do that. And it's real simple to pop this on, pop it on, and there you go. And this was, you know, we got this off of Amazon. It was, you know, I typed in camera microphones and off of Amazon, and there were tons of them, and there were lots of different reviews, and I found that I like this one the most. It is by Movo, and it does really good. You know, it's got a 3.5 millimeter jack. Its audio sensitivity is 76 decibels, which is really great because at no point should I be shouting. And I've done a lot of filming with this on there, especially with the Jeep when I was off-roading in Hawaii, and it brought the sounds of the Jeeps, you know, it just made it so much clearer because there wasn't any kind of background noise from the wind blowing by, or, you know, me stepping on the dirt. You're not hearing it as much as you were the Jeep driving by. So this was a really good purchase. We were really happy with it, and it was relatively inexpensive. This was like, I think, 25, 30 bucks. So overall, it was a really good purchase. Well, guys, thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys found some of this helpful for what you could use for filming your own adventures. I do realize that some of my stuff is older, and some of it is kind of just mismatched stuff that we are using, but it works for us, and that's, as long as it works for us, we're happy. And going forward, we have plans to get other things. Like this next year, we have plans to get another camera, and I have plans to buy a drone. That is actually at the top of the list. That is coming here in the near future, probably be in another month or two. But yeah, I hope you guys I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me here in our spare bedroom for right now. Next time you see me, we will be in the garage. I promise. I will move the truck's big butt out into the driveway, and it can just sit out there while I do what I need to do. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any kind of comments, please leave them. I love getting better, and, you know, the best way to do so is through comments. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later on.